Henry and his brothers and sisters worked in the big house where the master lived. This is Henry. Henry's master had been good to Henry and his family. That's his mommy. But Henry's mother knew things could change. Do you see those leaves blowing in the wind? They are torn from the trees like slave children are torn from their families.
There comes a time in a black child's life when they have to learn about the injustices that their race has faced. When that time comes, a wave of confusion and frustration arises as it is hard to fathom why. Why is it so hard for others to see black people as humans?
Does this happen everywhere?
Not anymore.
Why?
Because that's how it was back in the day. That's how they got things done.
These experiences open up doors from the past. These doors, much like the story of Mary Prince, an enslaved Bermudian who, like all who had been enslaved, had a childhood and a whole life for that matter stolen away from her. Imagine being torn apart from your family. Imagine constantly getting beat. Imagine witnessing your friend being brutally murdered, all at the mere age of 12. In Bermuda, it seems as though we sometimes forget about these injustices, about the lives of black people. Some may say we are lucky to live on this island, an island that is seemingly relieved of any racial conflicts. Yet to believe this is to be blind to Bermuda's history. Maybe we think these things because we are all preoccupied with all the positive aspects of the island. Some only see an island that is a remote stray away from hardship. It's hard, I must confess, but it's necessary. It's necessary to look beyond our glistening seas and our bright green trees, to look beyond our colorful array of houses, to look beyond the sea turtles and the longtails, because under all of Bermuda's beautiful wonders, there is an ugly truth, a truth waiting to resurface and come to shore. Don't lie and say this island is all peace and tranquility, that the effects of slavery and segregation are somehow lost, because there are still chains left unbroken, and we are continuously being held down by them. +340 years of physical and psychological oppression, 218 years of slavery, 130 years of segregation, and only 50 years of supposed freedom. Yet we still remain oppressed. We still remain chained down to the rock which we crafted. The fact remains that history does not die and no one dies with history. Just know that it can never be erased. So yes, slavery might be over, but its wounds still run deep. The scars will remain, but we must strive to remedy the pain. Bermuda still remains divided. Due to the historical events from our past having to do with slavery and segregation, a legacy known as the Two Bermudas has torn Bermuda apart. Segregation in Bermuda started in 1834 and ended in 1971. As of 2021, that is only 50 years of supposed freedom, which isn't very much. And be free. While former legal equality was guaranteed under the Fundamental Rights Chapter, in fact, the dominance of white elite was being written into the Constitution. The law says we are equal, but 400 years into our history, one needs to look no further than our neighborhoods, the economic disparity between whites and blacks, and the racial makeup of the prison population to cast doubt on the true meaning of equality. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Why is it that black Bermudians make up 98% of our prison population? It's not because black people are thugs and criminals, as many may perceive. It's because the effects of intergenerational trauma still linger throughout our society. Whilst we do spend time thinking about our past, we also spend time thinking about our future. This is why we fight. This is why there are progressive groups in the 1950s boycotting theaters and fighting for their freedom. This is why we marched for our rights in June of 2020. We can be equal only when the playing field is leveled socioeconomically. It's seemingly an endless race, but we are not running to escape our past. We are running towards a future in which our mental slavery, oppression, and generational trauma is uplifted.
Okay? We had enough licks, okay? They've been beating us for years. It goes back over 400 years. I've got the scars and the footprints on the back of my neck to prove it, okay? I've got the separation within my own household to prove it. There will be no more licks.
Lift every voice and sing to love and heaven ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening sky. Let every sound loud as the rolling sea sing a song full of the faith and the darkness has caught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the presence has brought us. Racing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Ashe! Ashe! Power!
When the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory, glory, oh, glory.
Hands to the heavens, no man, no weapon formed against, yes, glory is destined. Everyday women and men become legends. Sins that go against our skin become blessings. The movement is a rhythm to us. Freedom is like religion to us. Justice is juxtapositioning us. Justice for all just ain't specific enough. One son died, the spirit is revisiting us. True and living in us. Resistance is us. That's why Rosa sat on the bus. That's why we walk through Ferguson with our hands up. When it go down, we woman and man up. They say stay down, and we stand up. Shots be on the ground, the camera pinned up. King pointed to the mountaintop, and we ran up.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, glory, glory, oh, glory, glory. Now the war